This is Black Friday for assets. It really does boil down to buy low and sell high. Now, how do you get to that point? If we're in a downturn and you're doing your ETF or your index, and you know that we're in the middle of a difficult time, maybe instead of $100 that month, it's $150 or $200, right?
Yeah.
You're not going crazy, you're still just dollar cost averaging, but now you know that when it's Black Friday for assets, that you're gonna spend a little bit more just because you know it's gonna go farther.
Exactly.
But it isn't sexy, man. And this is why, like, having now witnessed euphoria, I'm like, people act a fool. And I had the impulse to act a fool. I was like, no, go more. You're so smart. Like, you get this. This isn't. And I was like, I know better than that.
Yeah.
I am a fool. The only thing I can hope for is that by staying rational and calm and not overextending, that I can stay in this long enough to sort of wash out my ignorance.
Exactly.
Just through time.
Exactly. I think it was Wall Street Journal that used to do this thing back in the day where they used to bet against a monkey, where a monkey would throw darts at a stock.
I love this already.
And they would compare what the monkey picked against traders.
This really happened?
This really happened. Look it up on Google. And so the monkey obviously had no financial education. It just literally threw darts at these companies that would hold on to it. But I think it was a 10-year span, or it was a long-term thing, compared it against these massive traders. Guess who won? Not the traders, the monkey.
Oh my God.
And it just shows.
Can we turn that into a t-shirt? That feels like a t-shirt. This is so hilarious.
It's reality.
But it's really important for people to understand. A monkey outperformed professional traders?
Professional traders.
I'm going to have to look this up.
Look
this
it up.
is way too important.
This is the reality, where it's just the value of owning an investment for the long term. And it, like you said, that short richness is loud. It's flashy. Everyone talks about, oh my God, I doubled my money in this meme stock. Oh my God, I made so much money here. It's loud and it's flashy, but that's also fleeting. It's the first to
also
come,
how
the
you
fast to go.
lose money. Where it's like, yeah, you gained all that money, but then you lost it all.
Exactly. But the real wealth, real, true, sustainable wealth is built in silence. It's quiet because it just keeps happening in slow increments over time. And now you start to build this, there's that snowball analogy where I'm from Michigan, right? We have snow there. You start by building a small snowball like this, you put it on the ground and you start rolling it. In the beginning, you got to roll it a lot because you have this much surface area to pick up as much snow as you can. As it gets bigger, it grows faster because now you have all the surface area that can pick up more snow. So you roll it and it picks up more snow and gets faster and bigger and faster and bigger and faster and bigger. And before you know it, now you can have a massive pile of snow. But the initial one is the hardest because you're starting with $100. And you're like, what's $100 going to do? But if you stay consistent with the $100, and if you make more money, you keep putting more money in, and you just stay consistent, letting the $100 grow, then you put in another $100. Now the first $100 is growing, and then you add in another $100, and then you add in another $100. Now the first $100 has grown, hopefully. The second $100 has grown, hopefully. Now you add in another $100 to grow, and you just keep doing that, month after month after month after month. Now you're really starting to build a snowball that's growing and growing, and if you look at this not month after month, but year over year, that's when you really start to see the returns. But the problem is, who wants to wait that long? Nobody wants to wait 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, because we're thinking about, when can I buy my Lamborghini tomorrow? How can I buy my Lamborghini next year? How can I have the nice stuff now? And this then becomes a different question. We're turning to these long-term investment vehicles to make us rich next month, as opposed to actually doing what it's supposed to do, which is make us rich over the long term. We're trying to do it the wrong way. So now we got to flip the question. If these types of investments are there to make us rich for the long term, how can we make more money today? And so this is where people turn to things like trading. Oh, I can flip these stocks, I can flip these houses, I can do whatever to try to make a lot of money right now. And for some, it might work in the short term, but it is very difficult over the long term. And this goes back to what you were saying regarding something like entrepreneurship. This is more of an income issue because now we're trying to create an income through trading. Now, if you are a full-time trader, you have the systems, you have the tools, this is all you do, maybe it works for you. But for the vast majority of regular people, it is not going to work. And this is where now something like, just like entrepreneurship, it's not going to work for the majority of people. Majority of people are not meant to be entrepreneurs, but you have to start asking the question of, How can you increase your income if you want to have that better lifestyle? But now, I want to caution that a little bit more too, because we talked in our previous interview about building systems, how to become financially smart. This is where now one of the simplest, not easiest, but simplest ways to become wealthier faster is when you increase your income to not increase your expenses. And so the best way for me to give an example of this is if you ask the majority of people, what's causing your financial issues? The majority of people are going to say it's an income problem. If I just made an extra $10,000, I'd be able to put money aside for my investments. I'll be able to do this. I'll be able to do that. I'll be able to do so many other things. But what data has showed us is for the vast majority of these people is when you make that extra money, what happens? Your expenses go up right with your income. Now you got to buy a new car that matches your new income. You got to go on a vacation. You got to celebrate. You got to go out. You got to live this lifestyle that matches your income. So instead of doing that, create a system that flows no matter how much money you're making. And one of the simplest things that you can do is follow something like a 75-15-10 plan, which means that for every dollar that you earn from now on, 75 cents is the maximum you can spend. 15 cents is the minimum that you're investing, putting aside for investments. 10 cents is the minimum that you're putting aside for your savings. So now whether you're making 40 grand a year or $4 million a year, it doesn't matter. You're still following the same system. If you enjoyed this clip and you want to continue your financial education journey, I have another video that I think you'll love. All you got to do is click that button right over there. And for those of you who want to stay up to date on the top finance and business news, you can join Market Briefs, my free financial newsletter, by clicking that button below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.